Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Transformers Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Now this thing has received a lot of criticism from some reviewers and from other reviewers, absolute praise. And I've got to say, every single criticism that I had of it, watching other people's reviews, are now gone now that I have it in hand, just like Bumblebee and Crosshairs. But before we do get onto the figure, let's take a look at the box. So we see the Transformers 4 logo and the nice Transformers word on the box there. With this one, they haven't gone with the white background and the clear front with the sticker Transformers. Obviously, it is just on plain white. And if you can see a very green look, like sort of reflecting at the camera, it is my t-shirt. So the box isn't tinted green or anything if it looks kind of strange. Nice look of how Optimus will actually look in the movie. Obviously, here a lot of reviews have just got this thing out the box and haven't shown it in the box to compare, but this is the best time to compare it. So this is the colour he is in the movie. As you can see, he has his flames still from the older design, but they're very, very worn and he's beaten up. He's got bullet holes and everything all over him. He's got cracked windscreen and whatnot. And then, as you can see here, we've got a very G1-esque coloured Optimus Prime. And then round on the side here we see Transformers Generations Voyager Class Series M4001. Nice Autobot logo and whatnot. And then on the back, if I bring it in a little closer here, there's a bio if you want to take a read of that. It says Ion Cannon. We'll get onto the weapon a little later on. If you actually look closely at the image, it is done very, very badly. So this must have been a painted prototype or something that they used. As you can see, all of the metallic silver that is actually on the figure on this picture is a very light crap grey, and it's painted over red plastic because on the arms you can see all of the red showing through, or it could be the other way around and the red has dipped onto there. But we see exactly the same. On the headlights here, there's a little bit of red showing through and whatnot. And then it also shows you Grimlock down here. And that is pretty much it for the box. And here are my three favourite Transformers that I own. Now, I have sentimental value to a lot of other Transformers that I would hold higher than this. But just as a figure, I definitely think that these three, they are pretty much just the best Transformers out there that you can buy, personally anyway. So on the left we have the Toys R Us exclusive MP10 Masterpiece Optimus Prime. On the right, that is actually a Generation 2 Optimus Prime, and you can kind of see he has a broken smokestack. I did that when I was a lot younger, and I kind of hate myself for it to this day. But it is Generation 2 Optimus Prime. I did not break a Generation 1 one, and I am actually still looking out for a Generation 1 Optimus Prime. But that's off topic anyway. But here we have the Age of Extinction Prime. So as you can see, he's more in scale with the Generation 1 version, just a little bit bigger. And then if we take a look at length here, they are exactly the same length. So very cool. Obviously massively out of scale with this big dude up here, but I really do like this. Obviously this cab is sort of perfected in the Masterpiece version, but I definitely do think that in scale with all your Generations things, this is perfect, just being a little bit higher than this. And I love the fact that we get something a little closer to this size that does still have the mirrors on the side. And one thing I've just realised, this thing, I mean, maybe Age of Extinction, you know, maybe the director actually kind of copyrighted my figure, because I already had a Prime with a broken smokestack for at least over 10 years, and then I go and get this one, which is obviously designed to be like that. So I think the Transformers kind of owe me some money right there. I think I pretty much gave them some good ideas of this thing. And then here he is next to Crosshairs and Bumblebee. So let's just take a quick size comparison here. As you can see, exactly the same size as Bumblebee, and Crosshairs is just a little tiny bit bigger just by the front there. So scale wise, I think that this dude looks awesome next to the other Generations figures, and let's take a closer look now. So right up in here I just want to show, you see how the windows here aren't quite aligned? If I just push on this, it pushes it up and aligns it perfectly. It's not mistransformed or anything, it's just if I just push it in, it just lines up. So that's just my only complaint really about this vehicle mode. Well, I guess except for the fact that they haven't painted the tyres over here. That would have been a nice touch, seeing as on these guys over here we have silver rims and then over here we don't, but that does not matter too much. I like the Autobot logo. If I just show you on the Masterpiece one here, it should be up there, so that when it's transformed it's on the shoulder. So if it was going to go for completely G1 accuracy, it should be up here, but it doesn't really matter too much. It is on both sides. And then over at the back here, there's a hole there, but it's not a perfect hole. It's more of like a kind of rectangular kind of shape. So it's not designed for a trailer. You can fit some trailers in there. You can fit some of the trailer pegs just in this big gap. The G1 trailer sits up too high. Look, this guy's too high for it. Masterpiece trailer is too big for it. So I mean, if you've got somebody like there was a trailer with Dark of the Moon, I think, wasn't there, and other things like that. So those trailers might look good with it. I don't know how well they'll fit because I don't own one, but I definitely do think that the design of this guy is very nice. This gap isn't too noticeable. It's not like it's just completely hollow out in there. You know, it's covered up nice with these sections here. And I do really think that this looks cool. Now you have weapon storage right up here, and then you've got the pegs on the side as well. So you can peg it into these pegs on the bottom of the feet, or you can peg it sideways in there. I don't really think that looks good. You can rest it there if you want to. It looks better than being pegged in, but it still doesn't really look too great. But that's enough of that, so let's get to transforming this guy. So what we're going to do first, flip down the smokestacks and just bring out these panels back here. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to flip up the front of the cab and pull apart the sides. There's tabs at the top and the bottom of this piece, and we're going to bring this piece out. So just get a nail in there or anything that you can just to try and split that there. Same with the other side. Just try and get in there as best you can and open the front like so. And then these sections here are the arms. So what we're going to do is just untab from the top like so. What we're going to do is flip this up like that so that it's out the way a little bit, and then what's going to happen is this is going to flip out. If I can grab it right, there we go. So as it flips out, you turn the arm in and around like so. Fold this piece down and do that with the other side. And now you end up with something looking a little like this. So what we're going to do is fold the legs down, peg. They're pegged in pretty tight. You've got to be careful of that joint there because that's very thin, but it does peg there and there. So even if that breaks on you, you've still got a couple of other pegs down here, so it's not too much of a problem. So the foot pegs in down here, and then we're just going to rotate it down, and then the foot just folds out with it. Do that with the other one. And once you've done that with both legs, you can just flip forward the kneecaps a little bit and just straighten the legs out. And once you've sorted that, we're going to come up to this chest piece in here, and you're just going to push that right down inside there like so. And then if you come to the back of the figure, like I said, if you haven't already flipped these up, go ahead and do so. This is going to collapse in, and it's going to come over the top of Prime, and it's going to just rest there like so. Then we bring in these pieces on the side which sit against it, and at the moment they're just floppy, but if you just push this in and this in, now they are perfectly locked in place. So what we're going to do now is just bring the arms straight down, and there we go, he is perfectly transformed. So as you can see, if you just leave his arms perfectly straight, there is no need to actually rotate the arms. So when you're putting him back into vehicle mode, just make sure that the arm is perfectly straight. Now technically this is with the arm straight, but as you can see you get gorilla arm action and you can't bend the elbow, so what you go ahead and do is you put it that way, and it looks a lot better because you don't have the side of the arm covering the wrist, and you also don't have any problems with moving the elbow. So as far as detail goes, this guy looks epic. He does have light piping. It's that little bit of clear plastic on the top of his head. Unfortunately, it just doesn't really work too good. Maybe if it was blue you'd see it a lot better. Clear light piping doesn't tend to work all too great, especially when you've just got a tiny little piece like that. But you can tell right here from the head, he's got so much detail. This is probably the most detailed Optimus Prime head we've ever gotten, and he does have no visor on, or at least no mouth guard, whatever you call it. So I do prefer him with that mouth guard. However, doing it like this, you get so much detail, and I'm not sure if we actually had a movie Prime that looks like this before. And if you can possibly swap out the heads, that would be an awesome thing to go ahead and try and put this head on your other figures. Obviously you'd have to put it on a Voyager figure. It would look a bit out of place on a leader class figure, and probably just wouldn't plain fit anyway. But moving down, the chest looks epic. Now I know that when you transform this round it is a fake chest, but the front of the cab is actually on the underside of this, so it is the same piece, it's just the other side. So technically it's a fake chest, but technically it's not. You get the nice windows here, but still with the slanted look, like we'll see in the movie. The wheels are very nicely done on the side. You can see that there's parts that just come up and cover them there. The crotch and the waist and everything's done very well. And then we come down here. I love that they've just got little details inside there. And then the feet look pretty good too. Plenty of detail on this guy. He is the most slimmed down Optimus Prime if I just put him like this. No backpack, no nothing. He is the most slimmed down Optimus Prime from the movies that we have ever seen. And for that reason, I absolutely adore this guy. Now as far as articulation goes, the head, it's like there's a neck joint and a head joint. So as you can see, that's how you transform him back. And then you bring the head forward on the neck. But what that means is you can actually make him look up and down very well as the neck joint moves, and then he also has left and right, up and down on the actual ball joint. So very good head articulation there for a Transformers figure. He has waist articulation that goes full 360, same with the shoulders, full 360 and ratcheted up and down, swivels at the bicep there, and then the elbow joint, because it's slanted, that's why you get the gorilla arms when it's turned that way. But as you can see, if you want straight arms, you can bring it down. It sort of breaks up the look of it a little bit, but it's not too bad. But it does have a full elbow joint right there. Down at the hips, I love these wheels on the waist because they move all the way out, meaning when you bring it up, see how they're pretty much in the same position, they're pretty much exactly where they should be. So you can always push it in to make it look like the wheels haven't moved, so I really do love that. And they fill that gap up quite nice. And I do also like how there's not really much hollowness to him. As you can see, they have made all this grey. And if you look right there, that looks like a trailer hitch, which is obviously was made up of his feet, as you can see. So it's nice how they've integrated that on the back, if that's actually where that transforms to. But apart from that, he does have a full forward and back movement there. He moves left to right up here, and then he also bends at the knee a good amount. This has a bit of articulation. It's a bit tighter on this side than this side, so sometimes when I'm moving the leg I'll accidentally do that. But you know, you can kind of chicken leg the dude a little bit if you want to. But the feet have very good articulation up and down, and they also have an ankle pivot. So as for the weapon that he comes with, apparently this is the ion cannon. Obviously this is actually Megatron's gun from Dark of the Moon. Optimus has obviously kept it since then or something. But I mean, for the movie universe, maybe it is his ion cannon. But at the end of the day, you are actually supposed to use this with your Megatron figure, because he didn't come with one. His weapon was integrated up as the missile just comes out. It was actually integrated as part of his vehicle mode. It was part of the tanker. But this is how Optimus holds it. But there is actually these pegs on the back for Megatron, the Voyager Dark of the Moon figure, to hold that. I don't have that figure, but I might actually pick it up now that I have an accurate weapon for him, because I didn't like the weapon that he came with. So pretty nice that they included this. So as you can see, here he is next to the G1/G2 mold of Optimus Prime, and he is much taller in this mode, so he does open out very well. With, he was only slightly taller in vehicle mode, but the cab integration of the transformation, they have pretty much shown that it doesn't have to be a very blocky transformation. They've made it look like the movie Optimus Prime extremely well. This is the exact look that I wanted. I like the style of the movie Optimus, but I just love the G1 cab vehicle mode so much more. So I absolutely adore this figure, and I think that it's great that they're integrating it into the movie. Again, they've listened to fans, they know what we want, and they've brought it to us. So I do think that the blue on the top of the arm looks out of place on camera, but in hand it looks absolutely fine. It should be red if you're looking for complete accuracy for G1, but it doesn't matter too much. Like I was saying, the Takara version will have the grey bits right there, so that it looks more like this guy, but it doesn't look that bad. Without it, you can always just give that a little bit of a silver sharpie if you really want it there, but I don't think it's going to be worth buying the Takara version just for a little bit more grey right there, and then just having the shoulders painted differently. I really don't think it's worth it. I definitely think that you should pick it up, and without knowing all the rest of the figures that are coming out for this line, I'm definitely going to say that nothing is going to match it. I definitely think that this is worth the money, and it's going to be the best figure from the line, and probably the best Prime that we've seen from any movie line, unless you really do love the leader class Optimus from the second movie. And just in case you're wondering before I go, yes, this is the Masterpiece Energon Axe. A lot of people wonder why you can take the bottom part off. Well, it's actually because that fits in the original Prime's hand, and if you're wondering about the matrix that's in his chest right here, that is the Reveal the Shield matrix from the Cyclonus vs. Rodimus 2-pack from the Generations Reveal the Shield line, and it fits perfectly between the gap in the seats right there. It sits on those seats perfectly, so I'm not sure if that's what it's designed for, but it, as I say, fits perfectly. You don't have to remove it to transform, and it fills up the chest and gives him a matrix. So there you go. If you want a review of perhaps this figure for some reason, I don't know, or if you want a review of Masterpiece Prime over here, let me know in the comments, because I haven't got him, but I've used him as a size comparison in a few reviews. But like I say, definitely pick this guy up. This review's gone on for quite some time, so I'm going to end it right here. But thanks for watching, guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, that would be much appreciated. The links are on my homepage on my channel. And you can go ahead and subscribe for new Transformers videos. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.